All right, everybody, welcome back in. Today is Saturday, November 26th. We had the kiln firing last night, um, and we'll see what kind of firing it was. I haven't been feeling so good, so I hate to say it, but I kind of rushed the firing along a little bit. I'm actually doing a Zoom with some family and friends locally as well, along with this video, so I have a second camera going. Um, and like I said, it was a very fast firing. I completed the whole thing in under 9 hours, which nine's about as fast as I've ever seen it done by people who know what they're doing. So I don't know. We'll see how it. I did soak the temperature between. Oh, I got above 1300. I was probably around 1450 by the time I slowed it down, and kind of soaked that between that and about 1660 for about 2.5 hours before ramping up. And boy, I tell you what, once I swapped over to that, from that new torch to the old torch, man, the power that these weed burners put out is just incredible. I shot right up to 2000 in no time, and then I went into reduction for about a good hour before I reached cone 10. I was really surprised. By the time I looked down, the bottom cone had already fallen and the top one was starting to go, and I was really surprised. But I slowed it to try to slow it down a little bit to at least get a good hour of reduction. I would have liked to have maybe gone for 2. And then after the firing was over, my intention was to crash cool the kiln until about 1500, but unfortunately I fell asleep. I said I haven't been feeling good, and it was already down to between 1,000 and 1,100. All the glow on the kiln was already already gone. So I hope I didn't thermally shock anything in there and break anything, but we'll see. That's all part of it, I guess. Probably should have done the firing when I wasn't feeling well, but you know how that goes. Get impatient. Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know at what point my other camera died. So unfortunately, you won't see all the commentary probably of all of the cups coming, or all the pieces coming out. But I'll just go through them briefly with you right now in the good light, so you can kind of get an appreciation. Some things came out really great. Other things, had a few pieces that didn't make it. Some of them I noticed, like when I was loading a cup yesterday, it actually, I felt it crack in my hands as I put it in. That's with greenware, they are very fragile, and so it can happen that way. But anyway, I'll just show you. Let me show you the couple of the failures first. This one I wasn't really expecting to fail, but it did. Everything came out really nice on it. The design came out good. I was pretty happy with that. I had a slight crack there in the handle at the top. But where it really died, you can kind of see it at the bottom right there in the light. The bottom was too thin, and it opened up. So that was kind of a little bit of a bummer. It's more decorative than anything now. Another one that I knew already had a crack in it was this one. It opened up a lot more. The funny thing is that it's actually probably still usable, in the fact that it sealed itself up, because remember I put that iron slip in there that was very clay heavy, 75% red clay, and it actually formed a little seal that allowed that to still seal up. And as far as I can tell, it is not cracked all the way through anywhere. Some of the glazes didn't do exactly what I wanted to on the edge. There you see those kind of weird drips. Not really sure why they did that as they did. But really, I do like the contrast of the Celadon glaze over the red iron slip. You see the like deep browns, blacks, greens. I will say that the design that I did on the center there with the squares and the lines on the inside, which were iron slip, those were just red iron oxide decorations, did not really stand out as I had wished them to. And you can actually see on the edges there that the Celadon ran straight down into the bottom, kind of pooled up at the bottom there. It kind of left that red iron slip exposed on the sides, which is interesting. I mean, it's the outside is actually where the treat of this one is that decoration, chattering decoration that I did, where I highlighted it with red iron oxide and then wiped it off, and then I did a wax resist so that you have a kind of a contrast of the matte between the glazed upper and lower part, and that ring there with the chatter marks is really nice. But again, it's still a cool bowl. I'll probably put fruit or something in it, maybe. Let's see here, a couple more failures here. This one right here, unfortunately, was a beautiful little bowl. Love it. Unfortunately, she cracked right there. But I love how even on these were on some of the lower shelves that got hotter, the red slip really went crazy and beautiful. I like that a lot. Where it went black but also copper. I like that a lot. Here's another one that did turn out. Maybe not quite as vibrantly. You still see a lot of the Celadon over the slip on that one. I'm not really sure why some come out more vibrant than others exactly. And then here's one I did with it, just a iron oxide motif at the bottom. That came out nice. Very nice. All right, here's some shot glasses that I made, and some little bowls for a sister that does massage therapy. She asked me for some little bowls for her essential oils, so I made her these, and I kind of did a little different, something different on every one of them a little bit. They came out nice. This one was from some of the Mako glazes, and yeah, that really is cool how it breaks. Look at the colors on that. That's wild. Those Mako glazes are really cool, and I'm glad to see that they kind of work over some of my other homemade glazes. I made that one with the carvings. So those came out good. Very happy with that. Didn't lose any of them. And here's a little seaside motif one I did. I did a lot of this, you'll see, with a wax resist over my different spots where I wanted it to kind of have a different texture between the glaze and then the roughness of the rest of it. That's, again, a Mako glaze right there. That's probably, I would say that is Midnight Rain, maybe in Light Flux. Here's another one. This one I want to say was Tiger's Eye in Light Flux. You see that? See if I get the camera to focus. That one came out really pretty. And there's this one, that's just my regular Celadon glaze, and I want to say my red iron oxide probably. Yeah, my focus is terrible here. Yeah, it really came out nice though. And those shot glasses came out good. Came out really nice. And this one I want to say was just Midnight Rain, straight Midnight Rain. It really didn't really do quite what it did okay. I just thought it would probably break and colorize a little bit more, although it did get some. That's the great thing about those Mako glazes, though. They have so many different kind of color undulations in them. So that's those. This is my cousin's coffee mug that I made him. Came out nice. It's nice and heavy. He should keep his coffee warm. And then he wanted a foxglove decoration on it, so that's what he got. And then here's one of my pride and joys. my carved rim bowl really came out beautiful. I'm not sure if you can see it all, but like there's a lot of greens and blacks and silvers. It really broke over the swirl at the bottom there. You can really see the swirl. You can kind of see the vine that I had carved into the rim, but a lot of it kind of got hidden away. It broke in a lot of places, but it just came out with so many just crazy color variations that, man, I tell you, that really is a nice decorative piece now. Yeah, well, that one probably was right up there with the best things that came out of this firing. And up here, this is something that my mom had made. A little soap dish for a brother from her congregation. He does shaving. He has a shaving soap, and so she made him a nice covered dish for that. That came out nice. So yeah, she did some spoon rests. This one she just did in the midnight rain with the flux, the light flux. That one came out stunning. Really came out incredibly. That was great. And then she did the Love Never Fails stamp in that one. She did Love Never Fails in that one. Very nice. Party favors for Chelsea and Josh. So as much as I like the idea of putting the glass in the bottom, it was a cool idea. You can see that, one, it cracks, and number two, you can't really read their names very much through it. I'm not really sure if it was the type of glass that I used. Could try another couple. I'm not really sure what we'll do on that. But some of the glaze combinations did come out really pretty, like that. So, and what I did was I numbered them on the back so we can show them to Josh and Chelsea, and they can pick the colors that they liked out of it. I can already tell my favorite probably is this number 4 right here. That really is very pretty. Let's see. Is this a 4 also? Yep. Here's another number 4. Everyone with this number 4 really came out with some really pretty pinks, purples, and blues in them, kind of, which are kind of their mauve and blue are their wedding colors. So my personal favorite's that combination, I would say. And I am happy to see that even, this one's really quite pretty too. It's a 3. 3 came out really lovely too. We might do 3s and 4s. I'm not sure. They both came out really good. But what I like here is, even though this one's on a flat piece, that it's still got great color variation. Oh, I remember what I did with this one. This one, I daubed different colors in different spots, and then I did a different color over the top, and so that's why there's color variation there and there and here. That's pretty neat. That kind of came out interesting. There's another one of my mom's where she did some feathers. I'm really surprised that was such a light impression that those underglazes really did a nice job of highlighting the colors. This is a bowl and stuff that she did for my cat, Scooter. Something happened with the glaze on that one. I'm not really sure why. She might have accidentally put that on with some dust on it. You always got to be careful when something's been sitting around for a while, which those had been. You got to really blow them out before you apply the glaze, otherwise it can cause some crawling issues. So this is a little bit of a sad story. This is, again, one that I knew had cracked. I was hoping that the same thing would happen with that other bowl over there, was that slip might save it. Unfortunately, that was not the case. The crack opened up again pretty good. So it will never be a functional teapot, but and actually the whole inside kind of really something really weird happened there with didn't really adhere in some spots. This was a red slip with the Celadon again. I tried to do a dragonfly over the top of that, and yeah, it didn't even, you could see it actually it crawled and did all kinds of weird stuff. But from the inside, or from the outside, just sitting on a shelf, it's still quite lovely, and it was my first one, so I will probably keep it on a shelf, and I'm still pretty happy with it overall, being it was my first attempt. All right, a few more to show you here. Sorry, the sun's probably not as good over here. This was another, I think I already showed you this one. This was the other failure. Yeah, I showed you that one. So the Mako glazes came out very interesting here. I want to say that that was probably Tiger's Eye in birch over the top. It gives it that really cool, like, orangey gray effect. And then it's wood ash along the bottom. It ran all the way down. You see that? It's really cool. I might have to grind that off just a little bit, but other than that, that one came out really good. Nice thumb rest, nice handles. I like that. It came out good. This one was my pouring bowl, and it came out really beautiful. Josh did a really good job giving me that idea for the thumb hold on the back. The only thing that happened was apparently it was resting up against the side of the kiln. So I'm gonna have to find a way to grind that off a little bit. I didn't see that happening. But the oxides came out really beautiful on that. The smooth, very smooth glaze. I did a little bit of slip decorating on the inside. Okay, here's another failed one. This was a red slip carved back through, but we had a very significant crack. I think this is the one that I was carrying in, because this was greenware again, and as I was carrying it, I heard it, and I was like, uh-oh. I'm like, I think that was not a good thing. As you can see, yeah, it had fractured there, and that caused a split. So that was a little bit of a bummer. This one made it. It was very orange peely though, the kind of rough. I was hoping it to be more smooth. It looks like there was a little bit of a possible crack right there at the rim, right. If I focus right there, but it sealed itself. It didn't go all the way through. Oh, yeah, it's nice. It's still a nice coffee cup, but I was hoping that it would be a little smoother than that. Okay, here is my bottle. That one came out really good, really good. I think everything on there pretty much came out, except for maybe the slip came out a little washy up there. But my under glazed right here came out really good, and as well as my chattering effects showed up really well. Very rich colors, which I wanted. Yeah, I'm really happy with that one. That came out nice. As did this. The red slip on this one came out really great. I love when it does that kind of two-toned black and copper color together like that. Really sharp. This is the other one that I did, and it's nice. It came out good too. Okay. Here's my other mixing bowl that I made myself. I like the oxide work, came out really good on the outside. Just some kind of crazy stuff on the inside there a little bit. The oxides came out really good on that one. As well as the, see, that's what I love about that underglaze. See how that underglaze really shows through at the bottom there? It really highlights the impressions. So yeah, that one came out kind of cool. Alright, we're getting down to some of my favorites now. This was one that I don't know, it was a little childish now that I look at it, but it was trying just some different slip work. It all adhered. I really like how the dots and stuff like that really came through. As you can see in the light, there's some crazing issues on this glaze. Might have to refire this. But the oxides came out. I did some like clouds. There was like, kind of like a weird like Wonderland mountain scene. Some of it came out good. Some of it came out kind of weak. Here's another slipped cup that I did. some, well, actually, I'm sorry, it's a Celadon cup with some slip work underneath it. The branches are out of slip. Same thing with this one here. Came out nice. Alright, this one was the one where I had dipped the inside. Okay, so there's some things I like about this, and there's some things I'm not that crazy about. The shape of it, I'm not that crazy about. My front decoration didn't come out as crisp as I had wanted it to. You can still see what I had decorated it with, but it just kind of bled all over itself. Things that I like about it, I like the handle, and I like the upper part. So that was basically a red slip with Celadon over the top of it, and then I sgraffitoed through it back through the Celadon back into the slip, so that kind of gave it that kind of crazy pattern along the outside. But what I love about this one is the inside. It went like crazy. You could see like the Celadon, the slip, it went greens, coppers, silvers, blacks. It twinkles. I mean, it's got some great coloring on the inside. So overall, I actually do like the piece. And actually, now I'm looking at this, there's some really cool spots in here where like it kind of ran black. You see this? It kind of ran down in black. It's growing on me a little bit. And then obviously I just did a wood ash over the rest of it. It's a nice cup. This one came out really cool. This was a again, it's the same effect that I had on the other one, where it's a iron slip with Celadon over the top of it. But what I did was I did the iron slip, then I carved like these little petals, and then I did the Celadon. So the Celadon then adhered and it made it actually is not raw, but it's actually green on the petals themselves. I like that a lot, actually. That one I really like. Little unevenness on the inside with the glaze, but it's funky and I like it. I really like that one a lot. This was kind of a more traditional style of my work that I've been doing with the wash and the different designs. It came out really pretty. I like how again, got the contrast there with the matte along the bottom there of the iron. It ran a little bit, but that's okay. But I like it. It came out nice. Alright, so 3 more of my favorites. I want to say this one was Tiger's Eye. Look at how this one ran. Look at the runs on this one. Oh, it's awesome. And the colors in the runs, the way it all bleeds together, is really stunning. Look at the way it broke over the handle and highlighted all in here. That really, and it ran all the way down on the inside. That was a great, one of my favorites. That one really came out great. I love where it has these runs, but it kind of contrasts. And look at this one. This was Midnight Rain and Light Flux. It ran almost all the way down in some spots. And then obviously the wood ash. That one came out great. And I think I even did some slip work in there, which probably added to the different color combinations. But the color combinations of that are awesome. And then last but not least, this one was an iron slip with, I believe, Midnight Rain and all that over the top. And it just, again, you get these cool drips that go down over the top of it. It's really cool. Look at that over the handle. Look at the colors that are in there. I don't know how well you can see it, but that's pretty awesome. And the inside, look at the colors. Look at the colors on the inside of that. The way it broke. That's just awesome. So there we go. That's pretty much this firing. Like I said, I'm looking to be doing some more firings. At least 1 or 2 more firings next month. I'll do a bisque firing for Josh and Chelsea's pieces, and then I will be doing one more high firing where I finish these magnets. And also I have some mugs that I would like to get done by the end of the year. So thank you for joining me, and until I talk to you next time, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Take care.